A different world. Anaya leaned her head against the car window, her breath fogging up the glass. The skyscrapers of the city faded away behind her, replaced by crumbling buildings, narrow alleys, and dusty roads. A nervous excitement thrummed inside her chest. Today, she wasn't a rich businessman's little sister. Today, she was just another college student working on a sociology project, understanding the lives beyond ours. Madam, we've arrived, the driver announced hesitantly, glancing around at the slum neighborhood with distaste. Anaya smiled reassuringly. Thank you, Ramesh Bhaiya. Please wait here. She stepped out, her leather shoes immediately getting dusted with dirt. But she didn't care. Clutching her notebook tightly, she made her way through the winding lanes. The smell of burning garbage, street food, and sweat filled her senses. Children ran barefoot, their faces lit with carefree smiles. Women carried baskets atop their heads, navigating potholes with grace Anaya could never match. Her heart ached, and yet she felt strangely alive. Then she saw him. Sitting against a cracked wall was a boy, no, a young man, maybe a year or two older than her. His white kurta was faded and dusty, yet he sat with an air of quiet dignity. A tattered book lay open on his lap, and beside him, a tiny girl listened intently, her eyes wide with wonder. Anaya hesitated for a moment, then approached. Excuse me, she said softly. The boy looked up sharply, his gray eyes narrowing with suspicion. His protective hand instinctively moved towards the little girl. I'm. I'm doing a project, Anaya stammered. I need to ask a few questions, if you don't mind. He studied her for a long moment, then slowly nodded. All right. Anaya smiled, relieved. Thank you. What's your name? Rayan, he said simply. And this is my sister, Noor. Noor smiled shyly, hiding behind Rayan's arm. Anaya knelt down to their level. Hi, Noor. You're very lucky to have a brother like him. Noor giggled, and Rayan's mouth twitched, the closest thing to a smile he allowed himself. Anaya opened her notebook, but her mind was already straying from the planned questions. She wanted to know their real story, not just statistics for a report. And as the sun dipped lower into the sky, she realized this was just the beginning. Chapter 2, The Walls Between Us. Anaya visited the slums again the next day, and the next. Each time she found herself drawn back to Rayan and Noor. Rayan was guarded, speaking little, his eyes always cautious. But Noor was a chatterbox, filling in the gaps with stories about their life, how their mother worked 2 jobs, how Rayan had given up college to support them after their father passed away. He wanted to be a teacher, Noor said once, her tiny hand in Anaya's. Anaya glanced at Rayan, catching the flash of pain in his eyes before he masked it with indifference. She began helping them in small ways, bringing extra notebooks for Noor, sharing sandwiches with Rayan when she noticed he often skipped meals to feed his sister. At home, Anaya kept her new friendship secret. Her brother Arav was fiercely protective. After their parents' death, he had stepped into both parental roles, raising Anaya with a combination of fierce love and rigid discipline. She knew he would never approve of her visiting the slums, much less befriending a boy from there. You live in a different world, Anaya, Arav often told her, and you must stay where you belong. But Anaya wasn't so sure anymore. Every time she laughed with Noor or debated books with Rayan, the walls of class, status, and expectation seemed thinner, almost transparent. Almost. Chapter 3. Growing Closer. One afternoon, a sudden downpour trapped Anaya in the slums. She had no umbrella, no car. Ramesh Bhaiya had been called away unexpectedly. You'll catch a cold, Rayan said, appearing beside her with a tattered umbrella. Laughing, Anaya ducked under it with him. They hurried to a small tea stall, rain cascading around them in silver sheets. Inside the cramped space, sipping hot chai from chipped cups, Anaya and Rayan talked. Really talked. Rayan told her about his dreams, how he wanted to open a small school for the children of his neighborhood, giving them the chances he had lost. Anaya listened, mesmerized. You're incredible, she blurted. Rayan looked away. I'm nothing, Anaya. You come from a world I can't even imagine. You don't have to imagine it, she whispered. I want you in mine. The words hung between them, dangerous and sweet, and Rayan, for once, didn't pull away. Chapter 4. Secrets and discovery days turned into weeks. Their friendship deepened, unspoken feelings blooming like wildflowers between them. Anaya found excuses to visit Rayan more often. She helped Noor with homework, brainstormed ideas for Rayan's dream school, even stayed late to watch the sunset from the rooftop.